Hey everybody, got a couple of tractors to show you today. This one I showed you a little while back but didn't tell you nothing about it. It's a Toro wheel horse 1438 HXL. Has the hydrostatic rear transmission. I believe it's a 96. This was my father's old lawnmower and he gave it to me because the mower deck rusted out. So we swapped the engine out to a new lawnmower for him, which I'll have to show you guys what that is. But you can see there's no engine. The transmission's froze because it's a hydrostatic piece of junk and it's missing the front tire, but other than that it's pretty much complete, you know, except the mower deck. It's got her C-channel frame in it, which I thought was interesting. The steering's good. Everything else about it seems decent. It's a solid sturdy frame and the chassis looks pretty cool, but no real plans with it yet. The only real plan that I have as of right now is to get this thing off my lawn so I can mow my lawn later, but that's pretty much it at this point. So here's the harsh reality of what happens when you drink and drive. No, I'm just kidding. I just got this at the junkyard. It was literally at the bottom of a scrap metal pile and I saw it and they had signs up everywhere that said absolutely no dump picking. So I asked the guy, hey, you know, can I dump pick? And they said, yeah, sure, why not? Go for it. So I grabbed this thing. Actually, they loaded it for me in the back of my work truck with a forklift, so that was pretty awesome. And the only reason I grabbed it, you know, obviously it's a complete hunk of crap, is everyone knows that these rear-wheel drive, rear-engine lawnmowers come with these chain drive transmissions, and this one has got one. And I don't know exactly what kind it is. I do see that it says Peerless right there. You can kind of see that it's upside down. Looking online, I think it's a 722A. It's a 3-speed with reverse. And first thing that I'm going to do with this tractor, and probably the only thing I'm going to do with this tractor, is rip that transmission out. So in my last video I asked you guys torque converter or centrifugal clutch, and a lot of you agreed that torque converter was the way to go because of the higher speeds and greater low end torque for taking off and doing donuts. Well, let me bounce this idea off you. What if I took that 3-speed Peerless transmission and dropped it in this racing lawnmower go-kart project we got here and swapped it out with the vertical shaft engine and, you know, basically went that route with a manual clutch, and then I would have 3 speeds with reverse. I could probably have plenty of low-end power in first gear, and I would have ample high speed in second and third gear. I know some people gear these transmissions to do upwards of 50 miles an hour or more, so no problems there. The only dilemma I have is that Honda clone was donated by a user Truckin' 93, which I was planning on using for this project and would really hate to junk the idea of using that because I'm really fascinated by those Honda clone motors. But doing it this way would enable me to use almost any size Briggs motor or anything that was a vertical shaft. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to suggest using a V-twin or a twin, which I would be open to doing if I could find a damn twin. I have a horizontally opposed, but I personally don't really like those engines. So yeah, that's my dilemma right now. I'm not really sure if I should use the Peerless transmission and a vertical shaft motor, build my own manual clutch, or if I should continue with the idea of using the Honda clone with the torque converter. But that's my current dilemma. But as of right now, the one thing I'm going to concentrate on is getting that transmission out of that piece of shit lawnmower. Alright, so we've begun surgery. This is like harvesting a vital organ. You can see right there, it says Peerless Gear Drive Tecumseh. Some of you say Tecumseh, but you know, tomato, tomato, whatever. So here you can see the underneath of this beast. I got it flipped over, I pulled the pulley off, came off actually really easy, so that was kind of nice, not used to that. Shaft's still pretty oily, so there must be a seal leak in the bottom. But I got the bolts taken out, and now I just gotta disconnect the chain and rip that the rest of the way out. Alright, so we have liberated the Peerless transmission from its resting place. Still don't know what this is for a model. It just says Peerless Gear Drive Tecumseh. And it says the same thing pretty much on the bottom. Well, it's upside down. But yeah, I have no idea what model this is. I'm just basically going off what I read on the internet, which is that it's a 722A. On the side here, there's a sticker that actually tells you how fast this thing goes. Right here it says transmission, inline gearbox, 3 forward, 1.3, 3, and 3.9 miles an hour. 1 reverse, 1.5 miles an hour. Also want to ask you guys, what is the pitch and size of the chain that these things run with? I know that you can flip that chain sprocket to that side or put it on that side where the disc brake is, which is pretty cool. So a little closer look at the transmission here. I figured out the gear ratios. The first gear is 7-to-1, second gear is 3-to-1, third gear is 2-to-1, and reverse is 6-to-1. And that basically means you got to spin this shaft, the input shaft, 6 times for that shaft, which is actually in neutral right now, to spin 1 time. But all the gears work, all these shafts are super tight, nothing has any play, which is just awesome. So yeah, tell me what you guys think. Should I put this on the racing mower project and put a vertical shaft motor on the front and drive this thing like crazy with a giant pulley in the front and a tiny pulley in the back and have a 3-speed rear end? Or should I stick with the torque converter Honda clone idea and I could possibly sell this to fund that part of the project? I'm not really sure 100% what to do right now. But there's plenty of other stuff I can do to this thing until I decide. So now we're going to strip this thing, what's left of its usable parts, and take that rest of that to the scrap heap, because that's pretty much where it came from. That's probably where it belongs. But let me know what you guys think about, the decisions here. Sorry to keep changing things up on you, but at this point it's either torque converter or 3-speed Peerless transmission with a completely different engine. So tell me what you think. Leave a comment below. And we'll talk to you later.